everyone, welcome to LexTalk World Talk Show presented by Clickaway Creators. Today we have Miss Avanti Poredi with us. Avanti is born and brought up in Mumbai. Throughout her journey of 6 to 7 years, she has worked with Novo Medi Sciences Pvt Limited as the only legal in-house. Not only that, but she kind of single-handedly resolved all the legal matters there. Currently, she is all set for her new journey in 4B Networks Pvt Limited as the assistant manager legal. Her key expertise in law are criminal, civil, family, property, corporate, arbitration, and securities. Of course, I mean, I have a lot to say about her, but so far, my conversation with Avanti, it has been very different. She believes that her logical thinking, astute mind, dedication, and personality has led her to take this, beautiful decision of entering in the legal space. Not only this, but she also mentions that she has been blessed with amazing mentors throughout her journey. So, without any further ado, let me just introduce you to the woman herself. Hello, Avanti. How are you? First of all, I would really like to congratulate you on your, on your new journey. So, can you just throw light on how it has been and how it is now?
Sure. I have started in litigation with like a very diversified practice, you could say. And very, so I got exposure in early age, like an early stage of my practice, I got exposure with all sorts of laws and a tag to deal with them at last minute. So also I have been used to drafting last minute solutions to every issue that I was faced with, which sort of prepared me for all the further journey. I would first of all like to thank my guru, that is Latika Belindage. She's the one who taught me, or rather prepared me for all the future endeavors that I would look into, or I would enter into in legal fields and the issues. Because it is because of her support that I could firmly face all the challenges I had faced later. It is I had worked under her for about 2 years, and after that I joined in a company called Novo Medi Sciences. That is the company which you just now introduced. And I also would like to definitely thank you for the good introduction that you gave about me. It was very nice and very encouraging.
Thank you. Tried. I tried.
Yeah, sure. So then actually in this particular field, that is when I entered into this in-house corporate, that was my time of further you could say challenges, further testing of skills, further learning. And I also sort of became pretty much mature in my experience in drafting of solutions. I also received the support from management, of course, and colleagues in order to get some outstanding performances done. And in legal, I believe that it is very difficult to first of all set a target. And secondly, after setting it, also it is very difficult to follow the target and achieve it. But that was the part which I could do successfully. At times, even if I think of my journey, and then it is also shocks me how come I have so outperformed in these fields and all that. But all thanks to my mentors, they have been teaching me, they have been my inspiration and everything. This is how my journey started. And after that, I then after working for Novo Medi Sciences, I then joined litigation firm called Thakur Das Madgavkar, wherein I worked under Mr. Bharat Marchand. Mr. Bharat Marchand is a very well-known solicitor. He's especially known for his drafting language as such, because his drafting style is so uh, very easy to understand that there will be no speck of doubt in the mind of anyone reading it, that what message has been meant through the arguments, through the points, through the quality of draft. That is it. So over there, I learned good quality drafting. Then over there. I also learned to again think over diversified, you could say, laws or draft solutions over diversified laws, because as a solicitor he has vast experience in especially the securities law, property law, then testamentary matters and such. So I got even the exposure in that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Avanti, for throwing light on your journey as a legal professional. Of course, you have been blessed with great mentors, and that's like the most important thing. When you're, when you're studying, when you're going through certain things, if you have the right person to guide you, nothing like it. So, but with that, I will quickly move on to the next question. I'm kind of a freak, or you can say like I'm very much interested in knowing about the challenging legal issues, are people have worked on. So, if you are comfortable sharing this, I would really love to know about your challenging legal issue that you worked on, and how did you approach it? Like the most challenging and the complex issue that you might have worked on.
Sure. To start with, as a litigation lawyer, first of all, I used to think that the in-house corporate lawyer's job is pretty easy and they are sort of faced with limited challenges. But when I actually went there, when I actually did the job of an in-house lawyer, that was the time when I actually knew that there were like a scenario of challenges waiting for me. One of the first one of them was the management. For me, a management was like a strictest judge ever, in which uh, the first point, that is, if you win the case in the given time, then you can stay in that. If you don't win and if you lose it, then you have to lose your job as well. So basically, you can't put the option of losing in front of you. You basically don't have the option to lose at all in this case. So the second challenge sort of I faced was the politics. I believe that even the bunch of advocates, if they come together, they still won't be able to give such a better politics as the departmental politics of a corporate is. And the only way to tackle it is basically to just listen, observe, and get inspired. Because your criticism or your critics are the people who actually inspire you to outperform in your work. So you have to take it as a challenge. You have to get inspired from them, and you have to, in a way, answer them without actually answering them by words. So that is the way. First of all, I had to tackle those challenges, and sort of it quietened my, you could say, critics as well up to a certain extent. And I believe that only a positive, strong positive attitude can defeat a negative attitude in a company. The third challenge I faced was the cooperations and confrontations that are usual between an in-house lawyer and a retainer advocate. So these are when one day they will agree to each and everything, whereas one day they might disagree on each and every solutions that they each other, you could say, they draft. So, but they both know that they have to stay with each other, that they need each other. So basically then in a way, we learn to adjust with each other. Only there is one thing, that in-house lawyer should not become a sandwich between the management's expectations and the execution style of a retainer advocate. So that is the one thing that you have to ensure. And this fourth challenge, which I'm going to talk about, is mostly in a startup, that maximum results and minimum utilization of resources. And this, there was only one motto which I kept in front of my mind, that you have to think what no one can think in order to draft the better solution to it or speedy solution. And accordingly, I've also, that's the reason I've also resolved various cases out of court. I've settled them, because usually startups cannot take high cost like litigations for recovering a small amount. That is what I do.
Thank you so much, Avanti, for sharing the challenges with us. I'm sure they have just, you know, polished you, and like here you are, all set for your new journey in a new organization. So which obviously proves that you came out of those challenges pretty well. Now let's talk about your transition from physical practice to digital practice. And so any epic and memorable incidents during this transition phase that happened with you?
Hmm. Very nice question. So to start with, definitely, first of all, no one had imagined that a thing like COVID would come and it would cause nightmares in our well set and established lives. And sort of the work life as good as came to standstill on the March and 2020, especially for the lawyers because the court were actually closed. There was nothing that we could do to continue our matters. But then after in about June 2020, the courts were sort of ready to then resort to online hearing and e-practice and the hearings basically in the online platform. But again, it was a resort, and the system wasn't exactly well equipped for it as such. But eventually, well, it did start getting well equipped as such. And this is how the phase was there at that time. So along with hearing thing, there were certain questions. Like, for example, the main tools of a lawyer are the papers. So how to convert these many papers into a digital document? So our first challenge was that. Second was with infrastructure. Though we have laptops and everything, but how much they are equipped for a e-hearing, that is quite another thing as such. And the third challenge was like the network issues. Mostly there is only one thing that wasn't exactly in control, and that can create problem. Why? Because supposing you are speaking a particular point in argument in a particular hearing, and if because of some network issues it gets disturbed, then your half message reaches across the judge, and if on that basis if there is a decision, then it can create problem and make clients you could say suffer. So to start with, the practice, e-hearing practice was not at all, you could say, good solution. But eventually, yes, people began to adjust with it. Especially the people who encouraged me to adjust with it was the very solicitor Bharat Marchand, because in spite of being that of the old generation, he took very welcoming approach towards the technology as such. There is one more thing, the epic and memorable incident which you talked about. So I was logging in from a device in a high court hearing, and the device wasn't tried and tested for audio, it seemed. And after I actually entered, and that was my time present. That was a time when the audio literally ditched me at last minute. And in this case, what happens is when the camera is on, you can't even get up or behave in a not so proper way. But thankfully, my colleague had logged in from other PC, so she could carry on with the hearings, and she was also well prepared for it. It was one of the very incident, and I would definitely even like to thank her. Her name is Advocate Uba. She's also my best friend and classmate from law college.
Oh, that's so sweet. Not only sweet, I mean, like this is, I'm sure that must be a nightmare for you.
Yeah, very much, very
That's
much.
what questions are for, I guess.
Thank
Save you. So thank you so much. Avanti, when we were actually talking about, so this has been like talk of the town, that we have seen like a lot of changes since the pandemic has started. When we talk about e-hearing,
you.
so do you think that is this new method of e-hearing practice adopted in COVID times an efficient way of accessing justice? And we just heard your personal experience, like, a nightmare that you just like, came out of. But what is your take, and how do you see that it is going to be, let's say, few years down the line?
I think that if things are supposed to like happen in a physical way, they better happen in that way. Because you can never create a court sort of decorum first of all at home. Whatever may happen, how much ever we ever, progress in life, but that's not going to happen. And certain sort of discipline has to be maintained in the court, certain ethical way, because there were many incidents which you even saw, like maybe they would be funny in a way, but still in a way they did disturb the court's decorum. Because a court, especially in case of high courts and supreme courts, there is very strict decorum which has to be followed, which is not exactly possible with work from home sort of a setup.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And as I said, the network issue part,
Hmm.
if half knowledge goes across, it's very dangerous.
It's very dangerous, yes. But like, according to you, what idea, like, I get from what you're saying is that, uh, yes, I mean, things right now, they are very different, but if it would just like stick to, so you're more in favor of the physical hearings, you're more in favor of that instead of a hybrid mode, or
Right.
e-hearing.
Because half physical and half uh, digital is more dangerous than ever. Because at that time there is no fixed procedures that you can follow. Because some departments, some cases, you have to go to the department. In case of some cases, you can appear for digital. So even in your mind, there is no uniformity as such approach towards attending, and that is must. We must be clear how we want it.
I actually have one more follow-up question on this, just out of curiosity, if you don't mind me asking. But I mean, this has been really time saving for people. This has been very feasible for people, especially not only just for lawyers. I'll just not talk about the lawyers, but even for clients, your customers. It has been like, a very feasible, affordable, and time saving way. And another thing about lawyers, it's just like my take, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that when it comes to lawyers, they, if there's a hearing from, they have to travel from one city to another, and they're just like handling one case a day, and then the bandwidth was not there. Now when they're sitting at home, they have a lot of bandwidth, and that gets more business, so to speak. I mean, for the I don't think I should be calling it business, but more work, more number of cases, one, right?
I,
So
I get your point. Like in a day, they are able to attend more hearings than they used to, first of
yes,
all, or it
absolutely.
was possible before. So that's fine. But as you said, even the clients can access the hearing. There is a what you could say a bad side to that as
Technology,
well.
network,
Because at
right?
times the
Absolutely.
clients get excited and they enter into a hearing. Again, one of the reasons of
Oh
you know,
my God.
and they're not exactly well versed with the technology. At times they don't know how to mute, not mute, and if they don't have any help of some person, to teach them that, then it can become a nightmare of in a live hearing. As
Yes, yes. I mean, again, like
because
coin has two sides. It's again, it has two facets to it. But I
right,
was actually about to say one more thing, that I mean, your take is also very appropriate, and it's absolutely correct, because when we talk about the rural areas, they do not even have the access to internet. Like, there are a lot of places like that, especially in India that I'm talking about. They do not have the access to internet. Uh, let's forget about internet. I mean, even mobile phones, right?
right,
Smartphones
right.
are not there, and who's going to tell them? So yeah, I mean, a very very good insight. Thank you so much for sharing that with us,
Thank,
Avanti.
thank you.
Now, when we are actually talking about the pandemic, you have seen that technology has kind of taken over a lot of things. Now, in this new era of technology, what are the most commonly used tools for you?
The most common. or rather the most updated tools that I've recently started using are the Microsoft 365 version, then the Microsoft Edge, then Adobe, because Justice Patel sort of briefed and trained all the people as to how to operate Adobe, how to share documents, how to arrange them in a order so that even they will be able to see it on time and in the proper way, and compilations. So very well, that these were the three first tools. Secondly, all the online platforms for attending the hearings, such as Google Meet and WebEx and
Wow, that's a lot.
Microsoft Teams and all those. Zoom.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Avanti, for an amazing conversation with us. Before I let you go, sadly, we've come to an end of this amazing conversation. But to end this on a good note, just wanted you to enlighten our audience about time management, like how can they make the best of their time? Because as we say, time is money, and in legal, I mean, like, come on,
Right.
you always actually do not have time. So how do you make the most out of your time, and how do you ensure that you're doing your best and sticking to the plans that you have made?
Okay. Uh, in legal, first of all, I would first like to say about the litigation side of it. In legal profession, lawyer is not exactly in complete control of each and everyone's time, and they have to control it as such at times. It's not like they have the challenge just to control their own time, but they also have to control the time of the client. They also have to control the time of the people associated with all the targets that are there. So in most of the profession, that happens that they have complete control on their time. They can schedule the targets as per their own availability. But that doesn't happen here, because you have to coordinate with the client, as well as the target is basically in litigation at least set by courts. And we just have to follow it, because we have to get the clients to comply. We have to comply ourselves with it. At times we even have to follow up with our seniors to comply with it. Yeah. So that becomes a lot of you could say challenging situation, because some to control something which you know is not in exactly in your control is something very, you could say, challenging situation. But and now if I would talk of this in-house in the corporate. So in the corporate, it completely depends on you at times. If you inform management that this is a time limit that I have sort of set for myself to comply with the target, then you should do it basically. If you commit that you will complete certain targets or resolve certain matters in this prescribed time, then you should be honest with your own targets and get it completed. Be on it. Ensure that you do not give up at any point of time. And secondly, if there is any problem, don't just wait for a miracle to happen and then the problem to solve itself. Devise a solution to it, because sitting on problem only worsens the particular case, you could say, for anyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. I guess punctuality and discipline goes a long way.
Right.
It's just not for the upcoming lawyers. I think this is the best advice for everyone,
True.
right? Everyone out there who's going to watch this interview. So thank you so much, Avanti, for this amazing conversation once again. You have shared such great insights with us, and I really look forward to having a chat with you again on some other trending topic in the legal space. For our viewers, please like and share this video, and do not forget to subscribe to ClickAway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do, and you have more coming from industry legal leaders like Avanti. Thank you so much, Avanti, once again. This is Bharti for LexTalk signing off.